Well, we're going to sort of play around a little bit, like I mentioned, just with the movie themes and just get favourite movies. And yeah, Simon, you're going to hopefully go into Hoedspruit a few days during the week now for your break, just to get out of camp a bit?
Yeah, I'll be going to Hoedspruit. I'll be going there from Tuesday to Saturday, just kind of relax, see something else, and just relax a little bit outside of the camp. But yeah, it'll still be lots of fun to see somewhere else and experience a new place.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're going to swap around quickly. I think Herman's going to jump from behind the camera and we'll find out what Herman's favourite movie is.
Yep.
Keep in mind, My Little Ponies, Herman, is a TV show, it's not a movie.
Thank you, Peter.
I have to pull Herman's leg. He's the youngest in camp, and it's also a bit of a tradition sometimes to give a little bit of a hard time. I'm sure it's not My Little Ponies, and I'm probably sure it's not Beverly Hills Chihuahua either. So, Herman, sorry, just on a more casual things. First of all, you got the bits done, huh? Or how close? I didn't actually have time to ask you just now. I know you've been on it since last night and this morning, and Power Cuts played around with you a bit and just give me an update. Sorry, I just asked you live if it's done. Maybe it isn't yet.
No, the bits are done, or the bits is done, I'm not sure. But yeah, there wasn't really a lot of time I put into it, or could put into it. But I'm sure I did the best I possibly can, and hopefully you get a little bit of an insight on our day yesterday with the kids when we went to Hoedspruit.
I'm sure it must be. I saw a couple of Simon's those pictures and one or two little pieces in there. I mean, there are just so many happy faces, and so I'm sure it'll be brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. No, there's definitely a lot of happy faces, and they just enjoyed the experience. And I was actually surprised. I also at the end enjoyed the experience quite a lot. So yeah, it was a great trip for me as well.
You mentioned something after that you might consider having 36 children yourself when you grow up. Is that still possible?
Not exactly 36, maybe no. 36 children at one time is a lot of children.
No, I'm being, it's still part of the weekend theme of being a bit silly, but it must have been quite an experience with so many physical bodies running around, especially after they all had a sort of a pop or a cool drink full of sugar and some sweets. Must have been quite an experience from that as well.
Yeah, it was a very big and definitely a great experience. The kids just perceive the world differently than adults. So it's just it was just great to see yourself, and you often found yourself playing along with them. So that was definitely a very special day. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Tired, eh?
Yes, I'm a little tired.
See, you've been slowly. It's been a long 24 hours for you, and yesterday as well. Herman, you can ask your favourite movie just now. Sleepless at Boyatella, Sleepless at Wild Earth Camp. But just quickly, and just thinking of it now, Simon sort of gave us a bit of an insight into what the kids experienced the movie like, and we can think a bit from that. What was the experience you had with filming the bits? Are the kids, you mentioned briefly when you flip the screen around, and you can see the picture of you moving on it, and how they interacted with the big mirrors, and you were filming some of that and so on. So just looking at different angles of visual media, from having seen a movie to actually seeing themselves on the screen as well and so on. What was the feeling you got from how they interacted with the camera? In other words, did they feel comfortable with the camera as we do? I don't even see a camera anymore. I see someone sitting there with us, listening to what we're talking about and joining us around the fire. If I haven't welcomed you yet, sorry about that. I don't know if I said welcome earlier. It's just so much part of our conversation that you're on the drive earlier. But sorry, I'm going off the track. But what was the interaction that you felt with the kids and the camera and the interest in it? I don't know if that makes sense what I'm asking.
No, that absolutely makes sense. It's very interesting. I don't think we showed them what we actually did was every now and then after the movie we turned the LCD screen around so that they could see themselves. And we didn't do that quite a lot before they actually went to go and watch the movie. But afterwards we did that, and it was immediately strange to see their reaction to it. They just saw on a big screen a movie, and now they're seeing themselves in sort of a movie. So that was very interesting to see their responses. And immediately they started reacting to it, and they started dancing and singing. And yeah, it took them a while, but after a while they were very, very comfortable with the camera.
And quite playful almost.
Yeah, absolutely. Very playful.
Very interesting because I've learned a lot about the camera 2-3 years ago. I was extremely camera shy, so it's just interesting how our kids can pick up. And as Simon mentioned just now as well, it is amazing ability of kids just to, and I think mentioned as well, just to cope with various circumstances. You're living in a small village to then suddenly being in a relatively big city and seeing all these, new things and being able to just go with it, just enjoy it and experience and keep on exploring kind of thing, which must have been awesome. I mean, I don't want to keep you too long. I'm just worried you maybe fall forward into the fire.
No.
So you look really tired. But, yeah, your favorite movie experience, if you had to explain a movie experience, and your favorite movie.
Yeah, it's not My Little Pony, but I
You sure?
think
It's a pretty good movie. I mean, I used to like it now.
I haven't watched it yet, but I'll definitely do it sometime.
No, I'm just kidding around. Yeah.
Definitely, well, a lot of movies, like most people would say. But I would say if there's one movie, it'd probably be A Beautiful Mind. And don't ask me why, because I'll probably say something like, because I've always been intrigued by insanity and the whole thing around that. But I'd rather not ask that question. But yeah, Beautiful Mind was definitely a very interesting movie that I've watched it many times.
Oh, interesting one with Russell Crowe. Now, I don't know if that got you thinking. That just got me thinking. No, again, sorry guys. Interesting one. Nice. Well, I was expecting a bit of a longer answer there, so I've got no idea what to say next. Herman, anything else you want to say? You look, like I said, look like you're probably ready to get going again. This is the joy of being live. I'm totally stuck. I've got nothing. I'll say, Herman, I guess, thank you.
Well, can I ask you what your favorite movie is then? I mean,
yes, you can. Perfect. That really is quite a hard one to answer, just because I've tried to answer that question many times. Obviously, it's something that you talk with friends about, and it sometimes changes and goes around. And sorry, I just a bit of a change that side. My favorite movie. It's a tricky one. Legends of the Fall has always been a very big one for me. Maybe because of the part of my life where I saw it. I was traveling at the time, actually in America. I was spending about 6 months there traveling around. Yeah, always enjoyed that one. It's a good one for many various reasons. I guess a lot of the epic ones. I'm a bit of a sucker like that. Maybe The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Clint Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef in the end. It's brilliant. It's the epic western. All the big ones. Braveheart's awesome. All the ones where there's a bit of a personal mission combined with everything else that goes around with it. I think that would probably be my favorite. My favorites, the ones that jump to mind sort of quickly. I mean, and there's other ones. There's a lot of them, but those three would probably be maybe from the different eras they represent as well. And I've never seen, what's that movie with John Wayne? People always ask me about it. Not every single guest, but a lot of guests I had always asked me about. Is it called Watari or Hotari, something like that? Never seen that. No one else knows. But I haven't seen that one. That would maybe the equivalent of the African one of it. But no, I'd say Legends of the Fall probably would have to be one of my favorites.
yeah, it's a cool movie. But you're a big cowboy fan as well. You like reading cowboy novels and stuff like that, huh?
Yeah, I like the cowboys a little bit. It's I don't know. I read a lot of books from Louis L'Amour, who's a brilliant author. He's by far the only westerns I've actually read. I've read all his books and very depicts the areas very well and tells the story very well. And there's something about the exploration again, which to an extent ties back to what we do out here and sitting around a fire and driving around in the bush and looking for things. There's something I like about open spaces and being on your with the Jigga. I think it's probably about, not quite sure, probably 150 horses or something like that you're sitting on. And there's always been the exploration has always been fun for me. So I do like the westerns. I like all those things. I'm a bit of a boy like that, I guess, like all of us out here. Shout for asking.
Yeah, cool.
Well, Roy's going to jump in. I'll do the other part of that question maybe just now. And we're going to keep on talking. Sorry, my mind has suddenly slowed down a bit. I'm suddenly going into sitting around the fire mode. And quite often when I'm sitting around the fire, I just look into it and I just relax and I just think about all kinds of things. As Rory well knows, we've sat around a lot of fires in a lot of places where sometimes we wouldn't talk for hours. We would just look around. Welcome around the fire again, Roy. It's nice to have you back, Mr. Johnston.
It's fantastic to be here. You stole my movie, by the way. So yeah, we go straight on to movies before we start anything else. Maybe it's.
Yeah, what's your favorite movies?
See, Braveheart is my one. I think it's because it's my romantic side that comes out. It's just an epic tale of love And